Almost.
Yeah, I guess. Welcome back. This is episode 3. We took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back. It's been a while, so
It has been 3 weeks, yes, as you said.
I think it's been more. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been more than 3 weeks. But, anyways, we got me, Sorry Jet, once again. We got Dan Tailbone and Ben HolyRomanEmperor.
Hi.
And then joining us this week is our buddy Danny, aka what's your Smite tag now? It's like TroutDonkey or something.
Yeah, it's TroutDonkey.
Yeah, aka TroutDonkey,
aka Fish Gypsy.
Yeah,
yes.
There's
Iris maybe change it.
Yeah, but so he's gonna be along for the ride this time. So since it's
gonna be a rocky ride,
since like the last episode we talked about, I guess real episode other than the beta tier list, we mainly talked about mid-season patch notes, and that's kind of been out for a while. I figured like we'd talk about like what our impressions of the patch are, what's fun, like what is stupid, like anything that you guys have any sort of takeaways you guys have from the mid-season patch, and I guess onward.
Well, I mean, I definitely say that physical gods are just way better to play in terms of pen. I mean, really just hunters, right? You're not building percent pen on assassins or like warriors, but like on hunters, it just like it lets you build different things than just execution or third item every game.
I will say though, I do kind of miss that power spike with Xe.
It wasn't really a power spike. It was like life support to get kills.
I mean, it felt really good once you got that item online, though.
But it only felt good because, like, you're so late to the party in terms of getting, like,
penetration. I mean, the stats were good on it regardless. It wasn't like you weren't just you were pretty much just buying it for the pen, but the other stats on it weren't bad, you know?
You were buying it for the pen. It's like Divine Ruin. Like, you don't want to have to build Divine Ruin, but, like, you're going to build Divine Ruin, and it doesn't feel terrible, but, like, I'd rather have a Spear of Desolation, you know?
I guess.
Unless you have a Hell Yamoja on the other team. Goddamn.
Dude, we ran them over that game.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Did anyone even get Divine in that game? I don't even remember.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. Who did I play? I think it was Horus. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Were you Horus or were you Mercury that game?
I think I was Horus because I don't remember. I think I would have bought. What's the
Shadow Steel?
No, it wasn't Shadow Steel. But I think I would have bought that as a troll.
Toxic Blade?
Yeah, Toxic Blade. I would have gotten Toxic Blade because it's a stupid troll item, and I am a troll.
You're a stupid troll item.
Dude, don't call me names like that. You know it hurts me.
I don't know. Dan, you play a lot of tanks. How's the warrior item changes been feeling?
I still never know what to build. It's like, not that I really miss Glad Shield because, I mean, it kind of did suck always just having to build into one item to be good, unless you're playing a magical god. Like, really, honestly, I just never know what to build, man. I don't know if I want to start like Breastplate, Stone of Gaia. I don't want to know if I like Runic Shield or something. I mean, pretty much the Sledge every game, but the Sledge still doesn't like feel good to me. Like it's like decent stats, but it doesn't really feel like that big of a spike. I don't like the leader that much either.
I don't know if that's such a bad thing though. If like there's not one definitive build, you know.
Yeah,
it makes you think a lot more. I guess it keeps you honest to separate. It'll make more of a skill gap.
I think my Hammer's only build was pretty viable that one time.
Wasn't it Arena, Danny?
Yes.
Yep, Speed Pot level 1.
I mean, to be fair, everything's viable in Arena.
Yep.
Speed Pot level 1. The shot.
You can build the entire Hammer tree and then Titan's Bane, and then you don't get a 6th item.
Yeah, because you ran out of hammers.
Yep, they don't have enough hammer representation in Smite. They got swords and bows out the wazoo, but not enough hammers.
Actually, there's not a lot of bows. I think there's more hammers than bows.
There's 4 bows.
Wow. Someone should do a bow-only build on a hunter then.
That's kind of standard for some characters.
That is the build right now.
Speaking of bows...
Well, it's one of the builds.
Speaking of bows, could we go on to a charged bow? Why did they add that power scaling? I don't understand that change.
Because
Because
charge
that
bow is
item is
absolutely
trash.
terrible.
But it's a tier 2 item. You don't
So
really
what?
need it to be great.
Yeah,
Well-
but like it's still terrible. It was literally the worst.
Well,
item
you
in the
don't
game, in my opinion.
you don't build it specifically for its stats. You build it so that you can get to oboe.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
but once you have it, it still feels absolutely terrible. You still want to feel like you're getting a little bit more powerful from getting like even a tier 2 item.
You just
Yeah.
farm up a couple waves and save up, I guess.
Dude, you
Even
get-
Hi-Rez says here, building up to oboe was not the best experience. It feels
Dude,
like it's not really worth getting unless you have the complete gold for the finished tier 3 item.
That's exactly it. It's
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
I feel like that's every item, personally.
well, yeah,
Nah.
but there's a lot of like you think like Mace 1 into Mace 2, you get the penetration and whatnot. You think like a lot of items you at least get something else for it, but like bow 1 into charge bow is like
I think it's like
5% attack speed.
Yeah.
That's the passive,
That's like
though.
it.
no,
The
the
passive
is
did like
terrible.
10 damage.
What is that?
No, that's literally
Okay.
nothing. Most of that gets
It was
mitigated
still
anyways.
Cool.
But that's not good. Like I don't know. I
Not
think
everything
charge bow
has to
actually is
be
the place.
good.
I will say I'm
It
glad it's
does.
percentage based, so we don't get another like starting throwing dagger scenario.
I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, that's not going to
Oh,
happen
yeah.
with charge bow, but I think it very well could have if they just added more flat damage to it, which would have been scary.
Also, I think they're going to revert the do more price decrease pretty fucking fast.
I don't.
I think so. Because it has more power than Soul Reaver, doesn't it?
Dude, it
Yeah,
has
but-
like 165 power. It's whack.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
like
and
the
I thought
difference
3,000
being
was
you're
fair.
getting if you're getting Doom Orb, it's usually early game and you're spending a lot of gold on like this luxury early game high power MP5 like utility-esque item because of the movement speed, but not really utility because it's still a ton of power.
Yeah, I
But,
don't.
like I think those two items fill different slots. It's not like you're gonna be replacing Soul Reaver with Doom Orb because you're getting Soul Reaver. I don't want to say mainly for the pen, but that's like the slot it fills is like that 10% pen.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you look stats wise, they're pretty comparable. And Soul
Yeah, but-
Reaver, didn't they change the price for Soul Reaver recently?
No,
Is
I
it
don't know.
still 3,000?
no, it's
Like
like 27, 2850, something like that.
Okay,
I think I mean, I don't know. Nobody was buying Doom Orb, to be fair.
I
Like,
was.
I like
I mean,
Doom Orb.
I think
but-
Doom Orb and Assault first is really great, but like other than that,
Yeah, I feel like I just never saw it get picked up.
mhm.
So I
I
don't
mean,
really
it
mind
has
the
a
price reduction.
shit ton of power. I don't.
yeah, it's a ton of. It's a great item. It's just I think it was just too expensive, and
Well, the
I-
thing is, it takes like 3 items to get to max pen, and one of them. I mean, that already takes your build slots. Then you get boots, and like when you go to think of like late game items, you just don't really get Doom Orb.
Well, I mean, when you're late game, you don't really think about boots anymore because you have the speed buff. So
yeah. But there's also better options than Doom Orb in late game. I think it makes it a better early game item, which is like the slot that really it should be because of the high MP5. It helps your sustain in lane.
Dude,
I,
what's going on?
I agree, but I don't think I've ever built Doom Orb in the early game. I think it was always
That's
late
That's
game.
whack.
always
I mean,
what
I-
I said good is
I-
early.
I still win, so
Well, dude, like I don't remember the last time when I've wanted to build Book of Thoth or Warlocks, and I really don't feel like
Bro,
them dropping the cost on Warlocks will change anything either.
Wait, there was a time where you wanted to build Warlocks.
Dude, I loved it, man.
I
Yeah,
love
when
Warlocks.
we were bad at the game, we
No,
loved it.
dude,
what we
okay.
still are.
It's yeah. Let's be real.
All right,
no,
fair
like
enough.
okay, I think it feels so good to build because then you just become a walking tank, whatever god you're playing, and that's
Not
so
even
fun.
anymore. You don't even. It doesn't even give
Not-
that much
yeah.
health anymore.
Yeah, without the once they, I think they changed the passive, didn't they?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they made
changed
it a lot more power, and you get like Jack for health. You get like 200
Yeah,
health
once they
compared to
changed
like
the problem with that
400.
item is that you just look at ethereal staff, and it's really hard to justify buying Warlocks.
It's like, well, that's what I'm saying is when are they gonna like make stacking items good again? Because like they really messed something up. I don't know if it's just the way the game is played or what. Like stacking items are just bad. They're way too pricey, and even with the cost reduction, they're just. I mean, like 100 stacks, man. Or is it 75 on Warlocks?
I think
now?
it's 75.
Yeah, it's 75. I'm looking at it right now. I remember back in like season 3, season 4, being able to like just double stack and run around the map. Like It was my business.
Oh, that build was never good.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
well,
it was never
Fun.
good.
It doesn't
but
have to be
fun.
good. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was good
it
on
was
Kook
fun.
though. You could play Kook
Yes.
double stick, and you could just have a good time.
Yeah, because you had more magical power based on how much mana you had, and Book of Thoth and Warlocks both gave mana.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
When Baba Yaga's not even building warlocks, that's how you know.
There's
That
that
is
achievement on
garbage.
Kook for one-shotting someone with your ultimate, and I got it with the double stacking build.
Forgot
Granted,
about
it was
that.
a Scylla, but, still counts.
I mean, you're not gonna one shot a tank.
Yeah.
You don't tell me who I'm gonna one shot.
I thanked the Scylla after that game, I remember.
What?
I was like, thank you for getting hit by my ultimate. I got an achievement I never thought I'd get.
Dude, that's like thanking the other team for getting a Penta or something, even though you just smashed them through an Ares ult. Like, that's toxic.
Yeah, it was pretty toxic.
You're so toxic.
To be fair, every Smite player is toxic.
Double stacking Kook is toxic.
Well, that's because you just laugh spam at everybody, so they inherently respond. with
All
toxic.
right, buddy. You were
Yeah.
about to flame off on somebody for saying HH the other day. I don't want to hear it from you.
You
Because you
completely
can't
bring it
just
on
steal
yourself.
another man's.
Oh, all right. Now that it's about you, it's not toxic. All right, I see.
It
I
has
see.
nothing
Oh, I
to
see.
do-
You are
It has nothing to
easily
do
the
with the
most
game.
toxic. You're always laugh spam, and then you're
What
like,
do you
"They're
mean?
laugh
I never
spamming me."
once. I never once laugh spam before the other team. The other
That's
team has to laugh
right.
spam before I do.
All right,
I
you're
think-
you're delusional.
They might like taunt or laugh once, and then Ben's like, "Time to
Yeah,
act."
no, dude. I mean, they started it. They started it.
If Ben hears
I
another
hear
guy
a
do a
single
voice
chuckle-
line, like not even a laugh or a joke, it's just Giannis uses his wand and says, "Watch your step." Ben's like, "Oh, they're on!"
Oh
If
no,
I
you
hear a
did my
single
feelings an
chuckle-
ouchie.
If I hear a single chuckle, Agent Orange is coming out. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Orange. Oh my.
Agent
God.
Orange, dude.
A Bastet will jump forward and jump back, not even hitting anyone, and you're like, all right, it's time to be toxic.
All right, it's a GG easy kind of game.
I don't know what else in patch notes. Personally, I think the serrated edge change is gonna be interesting.
I honestly haven't seen Serrated Edge being built.
Yeah, because that's literally the item's literally. Oh, are you Arachne?
Arachne.
The answer is no. You didn't build it.
Wagner. Maybe Erlang too. Erlang was
No,
cool.
Erlang was tough because the one didn't go on cooldown immediately when you use it, and also the cooldown got reduced by hitting subsequent basic attacks. So it was
Whack.
tough. Yeah, but now you can get it on Erlang because you don't need to have all three abilities on cooldown at once.
Yeah, I think it's sick.
Yeah,
I also think the way they did Nemean is sick too. The fact that it's like, and I guess not in lower level games, but like you watch like SPL and literally just like the mages and hunters just buy Nemean, and then if you
it
play
just
Mercury-
invalidates some characters. Like like Dodgy was like unplayable at the top level because this item existed, and now she's like playable again. And I think she's probably actually no. Hydra's is gonna come back because Nemean is gone.
Well, I think it's
Squishy.
just cool that like in general, Nemean is also better now on tanks because now you get 3 stacks up for it
Mhm.
instead of 2.
I think they're really trying to push this back into the anti-hunter item, which I don't really think when they originally changed it. That's obviously not what it was. It was the auto attack, the one tap auto assassin, the counter item. But like,
I mean, I would think it's just an item that's anti-autos that's just not reflect damage because reflect damage is stupid.
yeah, but like if you're building, like most of the builds for hunters are at least like 2.0 attack speed, so those two stacks are going within a second. That's really not providing you a ton like of utility. Like it's big, of course, but I don't know. I think it just got more value out of like Hunbats hitting you for like 600 damage with one auto.
Dude, Artemis and Ra about to be.
I was about to say, dude, that those slow cleanses are gonna be so nice.
I don't think Artemis will be played much except as a Cupid counter pick.
I love the raw changes.
I think that matchup it was already pretty good for Artemis, and now it's just even better. Because Cupid's clear is like it's better now, but it's still not great, and he can't really punish Artemis for being in Fields of Love. So like it's gonna be really easy for her to get to late game unless she gets absolutely camped early by like Thor or something. But like that's like you're gonna build an entire draft just to shut down an Artemis who you're probably 10th picking anyway. So
I only had two things to say regarding gods this patch notes. One was the slow cleanses on those two are probably going to be really nice, and I really like that change. And second, if that Zeus change isn't a sign from God himself telling me that ADC Zeus coming in.
I was just about to say that.
I mean, I wouldn't say ADC, but
No,
I would.
every
That's
game.
Speed up.
I could see Hecate Zeus for
Every
sure.
game.
I'm sorry, Hecate Zeus is ADC Zeus with a couple abilities. I mean,
It's just an Electron.
I mean, you go like
lift
the-
closer to being viable.
You just go like the Poseidon build where you go like Hecate boots and then just go ability based to the rest of the build. Or
They
the soul,
also-
it's the soul build.
well, they also buffed Geb's damage, and so now you can just go for the even better one-shot build.
You could be
where-
one of those shitters in arena. That
Okay,
build-
but if you're going the one shot build on Geb, you're not going for max range shock.
You're right. You're not going for them, but when they beads and walk away, you still get the oof.
you get the tipper.
You get the tipper. The tipper. Thank God
any
for the
other
Nemesis
god
nerf.
changes?
Yeah, Nemesis
Did them-
nerf feels real good.
What? The Nemesis nerf is 10 damage.
Yeah, but like any nerf is good for that god.
I don't know. I kind of like Nemesis in the meta, mainly because you can kind of just build anything on her and it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, and then when she's pretty good, she's really good.
Yeah.
That's true. She's also just super simple and hard to balance.
Speaking of simple and hard to balance, Odin. This god went from being called OP, 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 please nerf, and then I haven't seen him in a game for the last like 2 months.
I think they over nerfed him a little bit. What they change back?
Like
from-
a couple cooldowns. Like
they
this
give
one,
you-
they-
not even. It was like 2-second cooldown.
yeah, it was like a couple got. Well, no, they when they nerfed him in the first place, it was just nerfing cooldowns and a little bit of damage. And now they're bringing back the cooldowns, and then people are gonna cry, Odin OP.
I mean, honestly, even when people were saying he's OP, he wasn't really performing that well.
No,
At least at the top level.
but he was in every game, and it was annoying.
Yeah, I think the perception of him being really good, like, kind of just like spiraled out of control and made people nerf, or made
Kind of
higher
the old ball
nerf him.
father.
Dude,
I don't. Honestly,
uh,
I think this new 3 is way more interesting.
I guess the last thing on the patch notes I'm thinking of is that hell skin. You guys like it?
Let me look at it.
Well, it's the
Is
tier
it-
5, so the card art won't do it justice.
The
I
hell?
didn't see it in game.
Probably skip over that then. Basically, she has stands, like those things from JoJo.
Oh my lord.
And they look pretty cool. Like, they all have their
Another
own
anime skin.
animations. I mean, it doesn't really look anime, but, like, the idea of, like, she has, like, a protector over her in either stance, and they, like, basically, when she shoots out her one, they, like, go, and that is her one. So, like, it's kind of weird. Like, this floating piece of armor with a sword flies out in Dark Stance 1, and it
So it's
spins
like-
its sword
like
in a
Hera?
circle.
The
Not
only
quite.
the only skin I want to comment on is the Mulan skin because I think that should have been her base design, but whatever.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
wondering
yeah.
why I saw it. And I was thinking, isn't that just her base card art? But
I think it's weird because, like, when they first announced her on Twitter or whatever,
She
they
had the
showed
scarf.
that art. Yeah.
And that really should have been the design because it plays into the whole like she's trying to hide in
Yeah.
the army.
But I think it's alright how they did it.
Oh yeah,
I like the Gecko Gladiator Jing 10. That's really high quality. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
always
good.
one.
You're gonna save so much on car insurance with that skin.
What?
do a Geico joke.
Geico.
I know, but like, why is that even? Never mind. All right. So I guess does anybody have anything else to say about patch notes?
Yeah, I pooped my pants.
Yes, XD.
All right. I
Thanks,
guess we have to
Imagine.
talk about the other new thing. That would be Tsukiyomi.
I'm sorry. Can you say that name again?
Sukiyomi.
Thank you. I mean, okay, this god sucks dick, right? Like, if you're really that shit to where you can't just Aegis his stuff or just kill him when he gets to you, you deserve to die to him. Because, like, dude, you go in and you die. And if you get the kill, that's a bonus. I don't know, man. I've played this god in like 20 games, and I've literally won like 3. And like,
Mhm.
I'm not like a god tier player, but I like to think I'm not 3 out of 20 games. I mean, come on. He just feels so bad. Like literally, they have a guardian on the other team. At least maybe he's better at conquest because like you're not in a 5v5 all the time. But like God, it feels so bad to play him in any other mode where you're like around more than one person.
Yeah, I feel like he's a really strong ganker, and other than that, like he can kind of struggle. He's a really good 1v1 character.
Yeah, you best watch for those caltrops.
Yeah.
The caltrops are the best ability.
Dude,
They
I
actually
really want
nerfed
to try.
caltrops.
I want to try one of those Cabrakan or Scotty with Caltrops combos.
Oh my God, dude. That'd be wait. What about both?
Poseidon.
Wait, think about you Cabrakan wall someone, permafrost the ground, caltrops in there.
That's unholy.
Well, now I know what we're gonna do next.
And we get a
Overall,
Ymir on the team too to really cage them in. Like, you ever see the video of the dude herculting his boulder into like
Uh-huh.
the circle of Cabrakan and then Ymir wall? Do that, but with caltrops.
Dear God. I don't know. I think I haven't played him, but like playing against him, the ult isn't that frustrating to play against. But the only thing that I think is dumb about his kit is the disarm. That's just really
Yeah, I agree.
it lasts for so long, and especially since you can hit it twice and refresh the timer.
Well, when you refresh the timer, it's with DR, so it's about the same timer.
Okay. Well,
But they're also nerfing the disarm length, which is really good, I think. It's going from like 2.5 seconds for some reason to 2. But you also got to think that if that god didn't have that long, well, I guess maybe not that long of a disarm, but if he didn't have a disarm, he just couldn't go on anybody.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's also more. I think his kit's more focused on ranged poke than actually going in on somebody. So like, it's not that big of a deal.
And it kind of is, because your ult literally brings you to somebody.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
but like
you're-
it should be
you're
poke
still-
anyways. So like your ult should be like a finisher almost.
I mean, are you
That's-
really going to be in like an extended engagement to really poke someone out when you're trying to gank them?
Well, if you're ganking, then you just all in somebody. But like,
So then if you all into them, it didn't have that disarm.
I mean,
See?
the disarm only really applies to basic attack oriented characters, though.
Which is most assassins and the hunter. And the only other person you're going on is the mage, Tsukiyomi, because you're not a tank killer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think he feels bad. I think his kit's cool, and like I really like the ranged autos on his 1 and 3. He's like a spammy god, but he starts so easy, bro. Sucky Yummy is not that yummy.
I think he's more of like a. I think he'll do decent in soul lane. People build him a little bit bruisery. Like you go with damage as your like primary goal, but I think a little defense will probably go a long way on him.
Sledge.
Sledge on every god. Yeah, I never notice him in my games, honestly. Whenever he's on the enemy team, I just rarely notice him unless he disarms me.
I will say, when that god pops off, that god really pops off and is like very oppressive at times. But
Yeah, because he's all damaged, so like you get a
Mhm.
lead and you have a fat lead. I think that on top of what Ben said about just never noticing him in your games, definitely. Like I just haven't found a sucky yummy that I've fought against and been like, wow, this guy really did work, or like, oh man, I'm really frustrated at this guy. But like, you give me a Susano, and I'm gonna be like, all right, get me out of this game.
The rank 200 Susano.
that's how I felt about Arthur before midseason.
You
Nah.
remember Arthur? I haven't seen him once.
Okay.
I played him once the other day. He's
So
still
fun
fun.
fact, yeah, he's not that bad. He's
No,
not
he's not
nearly as good,
terrible.
but I think he's in line with other warriors. Like he wasn't carried by Glad Shield. He was carried to the top by Glad Shield, but like the dude's still fine. People are just, they follow the nerf train.
Yeah, people just follow that. Oh, he's not OP anymore. I'm just gonna go back to playing my comfortable gods.
Yeah.
Like rank 98 Susano.
Yeah,
we seen him in
rank
SPL
200
ban?
L's.
You know what?
Have we
Or
seen him in
Chop.
SPL?
Yeah, Final K played him last
He did?
set.
Oh, I'll have to watch. I
Or,
missed that set.
Last set or 2 sets ago, I'm not sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Anybody have any more comments on that?
No, thank you, mister.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to move into a segment I'm calling Pentakill. Basically, I just have 5 questions that I have written out about like Smite current balance or just like whatever like it comes to. I'm just gonna ask that, and everybody's just gonna go around and answer it. You can give an explanation for your answer if you want, but you certainly don't have to. So my first question is Baba Yaga going to be the next balancing nightmare for high res?
Nah, I don't think so. I guess I'll start for all these, and then we can kind of go around. So
Yeah,
that we
like
got
the only one that
order.
has something of substance to say. Say what he has to, and then me and Danny will meme. All right, go
No,
on.
I don't give a crap about SPL with this god. I just like she's hard. She's relatively hard to hit damage. Like really, just because you have to be good at hitting the 1 and the 2, and they're not extremely easy to hit. And like, I just feel like I think she's better than people give her credit for, but she's also more difficult to do things. So I feel like she's just not going to be a super popular god. She's not going to be a Ra that's super simple, super satisfying, right? But like the people that really like playing her are going to really like playing her. So I honestly think she's fine the way she is. I don't know. Well, except the fact that stacking items are bad, and I mean, part of her kit kind of makes you want to use stacking items.
I don't know
but
if book. I'll let continue.
I mean, that's all I had to say.
All right.
I guess I'll go next, and I honestly don't. I really don't like playing her because of the randomness of her. What is it? Her 2.
And the 1.
It is the one with the where it changes randomly, where you can be like the Y or the circle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah. That's what I meant. I really don't like how that randomly changes. I like it more so in the vein of Kernanos, where you can switch between them. Like you yourself switch, not some sort of RNG. Like, oh hey, I got the fucking bad ability now. I mean, that could kind of play into your skill with the god, where you have to now adapt and choose different strategies to what ability you have up. But I just really don't like that randomness, so I just never play her.
Yeah, I think that.
I agree with Ben. I think the randomness kind of makes it hard to balance her. There's really only so much you can do.
All right, so my take on it, basically, I think she is just a hard god, like you guys said, but at the same time, we've already seen what this god can do when you put her in the hands of somebody that really knows what they're doing with her. Like I think like that Heroin game where he just absolutely did a million damage with that character. I think that's like a sign that they can't really overbuff her, but they want to buff her just because nobody's playing her because she's so difficult. And that randomness factor is something that they're not going to change just because that was like a core design ideal they had when they were making her. So I don't know. I think Hi-Rez might be scratching their heads a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be like a Janice situation where she's absolutely busted at the top level, but they refuse to nerf her because lower level players aren't good with her.
Hey.
Don't at me next time. Like,
right.
hot take: not every god needs to be good, though.
No, I agree, but I think that it's better for Smite as a whole if the majority of their cast is seen at the top level.
True.
You know. All right. So, number 2, the double kill. Which of the buffed gods do you think has the most potential to become very strong? That's for this upcoming patch.
Let me pull up the notes again real quick.
Is that 7.9?
Yes, 7.9.
Who was buffed again? Real quick. I'm sorry. I'm pulling up the notes again.
I guess I'll go first since I have the notes. So Zeus is going to be absolutely busted with that attack. No, but shit, I actually did close the patch notes. Yeah, you guys got it first.
Okay, I got them back up. Let me just quick look.
You guys think we'll see more of Hunbats with that cooldown
That is a
change?
ni- that
I
is a
was,
nice
I was gonna say
100%.
I was gonna say Hunbats.
That is a
Yeah.
nice decrease.
I think it's Hunbats. They reverted the nerf from his cooldown and on the ultimate, and that we all know how impactful that ability is.
It's his only ability.
Plus, they're taking Damien away from hunters and mages. So I think that
Yeah.
the combination of those two things is really gonna bring Hunbats back to like a top position.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's actually busted, but just for the sake of conversation, because that's kind of all we need to cover with that god. I honestly think that Guan, I mean, it's not
That
like
was going to be the next thing I was going to say. Yeah.
but dude, like that's, I mean, like I don't know, man. You're adding what, like 50 more damage on his 3 at rank 1, and like it's not like you're really cracked with that, right? But like it's just one of those things that feels good, like. Especially with his cleave they added a while back and his auto, like that got like I don't know, he just like a little bit better. And I feel like the other buffs weren't huge. Like the Artemis and Ra buffs feel nice, but like they're still Artemis and Ra. They still don't really have movement, so I feel like they're kind of in the same spot. But like I don't know, man. That Guan buff is it's just a nice thing, you know.
I feel like Guan is just a character that seems like he should be good, but in practice it just doesn't really work out.
Yeah, he's kind of an old bot.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that Chang'e is going to be pretty decent in the support role only because of that. The changes to her HP, that seems pretty decent to her survivability.
It's
like,
what
it seems like they're trying to push her over there.
235 HP. I was thinking more solo lane.
Yeah, I'm thinking real quick. If you're going a support god, it doesn't matter what your base stats are because you're building tank.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, in the early game though, she's a lot more survivable than say, fucking Geb. So
Sure.
she's more on par with at least being a support than just being one of those Naja supports where she just dies immediately as well.
Well, yeah, but you can say that about a lot of characters.
I
think her kit doesn't really warrant support other than the stun.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, especially with the 2 baiting abilities, is something you really want. Like even out of like jungle, we saw. I think season 4 she was really prominent in the soul lane, but the time before that she was really prominent was DJ Pernicus out of the jungle. Started that meta.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I think it's nice. I just don't see her support just because like support. Like, I guess you can shove Afro or Hell in there because they have a little bit more utility, but I feel like Chang'e is just like a little bit of a heal and then like damage with the exception of being a robot. And I'd rather have a support set up kills and have CC.
Exactly. I think the other one I do actually think that the Zeus buff could actually help him a lot, though.
Damn,
no cap. I think that's actually going to be a little bit stronger. Like Hecate Zeus could actually be a thing.
It's
and even just like his early clear with the Sentinel Shield is going to be strong.
I don't know. I mean, Hecate is getting a nerf too, so that's kind of.
I mean, his basic attacks are his primary way of getting the charges onto gods. So.
Chain Lightning would like to have a word with you.
No, I mean gods, I would say, because I think Chain Lightning is more for wave clear. Honestly, like you can hit a god with Chain Lightning, but most of the time, if they're competent, multiple gods aren't going to be close enough for Chain Lightning to.
That's where you're wrong, buddy.
But now you're using 2 abilities to do what your basic attacks can do.
But that also takes literally half the time.
We could agree to disagree here, champ.
Okay. All right. Question 3. Who right now is the most underrated god in the game?
Oof. Let me quick pull up the god list.
Yeah, let me pull up the gods list here.
Wow.
Why do they sort them by Pantheon? I hate this.
Oh, I found if you just go to smitegame.com gods, it's all.
I'm on Gamepedia and they sort them by fucking Pantheon. What a bunch of dweebs.
Yeah, I think Cthulhu is the most underrated god here.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, that's a tough question.
100% pick ban rate in the SPL would like to have a word with you.
All right, yeah. Are we talking about SPL or are we just talking?
No, just like it can be SPL if you want, but like it doesn't have to be. Just like a god you think you should be seeing more, like somebody you think should be strong.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, now I have.
Well-
How about you go first, Justin?
All right.
I
Mine's
actually
Apollo.
real quick before you go, can I quick say just one comment?
Uh-huh.
It's not a god that I think should be better. I'm just surprised you don't see Rat in every game.
Yeah. I mean, I think people played him for like all the changes, and then like the problem with him is like it's either you go a healing acorn, which is probably his strongest acorn, but that gets easily countered by anti-heal. I think the second acorn's really slept on right now, but we'll see.
So you said Apollo.
I said Apollo. I think that character can just like one shot a backliner in the late game with his ult if you get like a good team comp around it. And his early game isn't actually that terrible. And especially now that Silver Branch bow is buyable, I think he makes more use out of that, especially now also with the ult scaling buff. If you just get your passive before you ult, you can get a ton of extra power from Silver Branch, and then your ult just hits like a Mack truck. I think you can get it to hit like 1200 damage or something stupid like that, just with like a regular old Hunter build.
Yeah, that is kind of nuts. I love me some Apollo, so I like the fact that you said him.
I mean, I will say like the rest of his kit is really underwhelming, but I think there's like that potential. I think that warrants him seeing some play.
Who's wants to go next?
Definitely not
Ben.
me.
Okay, I
Okay.
can go.
I
Denny, you want to go?
Yeah, I kind of have two. I don't know the patch history of either of these two gods. I've been out of the game for a while, but I'm surprised I haven't seen more like Athena or Khepri, like as far as supports go.
Athena's a good one.
I can tell
Yeah.
you, Athena is very easy to read because you know
That's
exactly
true.
what she's gonna do every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
The
that
problem
that
is
one,
nobody plays her correctly. Nobody
the one has a
pre-charges the dash.
very obvious wind up.
Yeah, it's like an obvious wind up, and even if she does dash you, you know she's gonna taunt. And like sometimes Athena's can hold their taunt a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're on the up to outplay her. And I can tell you, I'm assuming a lot of players find her boring because that's also all you do is just dash taunt. So that's probably why I don't
You
see
dash
her.
taunt, shield wall, and then you
Mhm.
walk away. Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then I'm just biased towards Khepri because I have him ranked 10.
Khepri is
I have
actually
not
really
seen a
good
lot
right
of
now,
them.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I'm surprised you don't see more Khepris because like he's still a fan favorite and he's good. I don't know why he doesn't get played more. I think it's the same thing where people just don't like playing support, so they
Yeah.
just play like the least supporty god they can.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they like seeing that damage number.
Big numbers make people happy.
Dan, would you like to go now?
Yeah, I honestly would probably say Vamana. I feel like he's
move
sick,
on.
and maybe it's just because again people find him boring. But like, dude, that god is sick, and they've given him so many random buffs over like the course of like the last several years. Like the whole getting a shield on his ult instead of healing is sick because anti-heal just doesn't really affect him as much. He runs so fast, you can't get away from him unless you leap over a wall. And if he has
Yeah.
blink, then congrats, you're dead anyways. Like, and he just does damage like all over the place, and it's not like it's hard to confirm damage. Like you're not like trying to run any skill shots. Like your two is just an instant giant cone. You run down people with your dash. You get like 86 autos in between, and if they're not dead and they're running away, just ult and you go Mach 5. Like that
Yeah.
god is, and I think he's a lot of fun to play because you
Mm-hmm.
just smash. You literally just smash kids. Like I don't know, man. I don't know why people don't play him.
I also think it's really surprising considering how strong Olorun is right now. And that guy just like poops out Olorun.
Facts. You just see all around ults, Vamana just ults, and then you just get Benny Hill theme playing.
I will say, I think we might see a little bit more of him with Serrated Edge next patch. I think that could be sick potentially. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you Glad Shield goes, you kind of expect Vamana to come back a little bit. like sustain isn't as important in solo lane.
Yeah, you get Chalice anyways.
Yeah. All right, Ben, you're the last one.
I lost the god I was going to pick. God damn it.
Oh.
I had one in mind, and then I just kept looking, and then I fucking lost my
You just
place.
stared into
I
the
found
void.
this. Okay, all right. Okay, I found him. Yeah, I was just staring into the void. I think a Muzen Cobb.
Hmm.
I haven't seen a Muzen Cobb in quite a while, but I think he still has the same exact pop-off potential that he's always had. And other people just either want more mobility, or they're just moving on to the new thing and just don't care about a Muzen Cobb anymore, even though he's still as good as he used to be, and he used to be great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm thinking? Same thing I was talking about earlier. People just hop on the nerf train. He got nerfed like a few patches ago because like every time he gets good, he gets really good. So they nerf his movement speed from his 1 by like 5%, and people are like, "Oh no, this guy's shit."
Yep. Yeah, I think people just move on to the new thing immediately, and then just forget.
Silver Branch AMC could also be a thing.
Could be, yeah, actually.
And like Atalanta's so free hunter, especially in my.
Mm-hmm.
With how many gods are like insane right now, I'm also surprised like you don't see Morrigan to like double up on like Cthulhu or Fenrir or like other stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really know why people don't play Morrigan.
Because there's this perception that she's hard, and
yeah,
she's these gods in the game.
She's honestly
actually not.
I would say next to Discordia, she's the easiest god in the game.
No, Discordia is not the easiest. Okay,
no, I think
play Morrigan.
She's pretty easy.
You stealth. You immediately press your 1 so that the sound effect doesn't go off when you're near them. You stun a backliner while you're stealthed. You 2, you instantly transform, and you just win the game.
Yeah, Morgan's pretty easy.
Like people say, her transform is hard, and I guess like at the really top level, you have to be smart with it. But like, dude, you could turn into anyone, and you still get a whole nother kit.
Just pick somebody tanky. Like they're all gonna turn on you because you're a mage in the backliner that has no escape, and then you just turn into like Terra or something, and you just pop off.
Although I will say you can't play her if you're a new player, because if you get a teammate to say, "Oh, change into tier," and you're like, "Who the fuck is tier?" and you click on like Sylvanas or something, you're like, "What do I do?"
Tier Sylvanas? What's the difference?
It's like what?
You're like, wait, I can turn into people.
No, I think she's just a kind of a anti-new player god, and then people buy her with their like 200 favor that they just got, and then they realize she's not that easy. So
she's also the only god in the game to have a difficulty rating of very hard.
Yeah, I don't trust those difficulty ratings at all, because isn't Neath like medium?
No, Neath is easy.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always interpreted those instead of like how difficult like the mechanics of the gods are to like instead mean how complex is this god's kit, like how hard is it to understand what this character is supposed to do.
What level is
extremely impossible then?
What level is Euler?
Hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he is.
Morrigan can also be tricky, kind of like early to mid game too, because like you're leveling up your 2, right, and then you turn into like Fenrir, and the levels in your 2 to that god you turn into. So it's like, oh boy, I have Seething Howl rank 4.
Yeah.
I'm a big perpetrator of that, dude. I play Morrigan and I see a Robin on the enemy team, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to turn into that. And I'm like, why the hell do I do no damage?
All right, on to question 4. What item really needs a buff right now?
Shillelagh.
Rangda's mask.
Dude, he goes into Sledge.
Bombas.
Okay, actually, I'm going to piggyback on what Danny says. I think the masks need something, because they're both poop right now.
Didn't they just get buffed?
And why would you use them? Like, I don't know if they just need to be removed, because like the drawback is too much on Rangdas. No tanky god will ever successfully build Rangdas, because you're already squishy. Why would you make yourself more squishy? And then Lono's mask is like I don't know. It's like a thing of the past. Like it was really good on Fenrir, but there's so many other good tank items. You're already tanky enough. You don't need it.
What would the solution? What do you think the solution would be?
Take them out. I just don't know if they have a place. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, they took out Bumbas. I don't even think they have a place anymore. They keep adding more items, which isn't a bad thing. I like having the variety, and I like how they're expanding on the trees already in the game. But like, I just don't think you really need them anymore. I like having other options.
What if they like doubled down on the or the benefits and the drawbacks? Like it's like say Rangdas is like 60% increased damage, but you also take like 60% more.
Yeah, unless everyone in the game built both of those items then, which I think would be hilarious.
I think that'd be toxic at that point. Like imagine your Wukong jungle, you just smack somebody with your one and like one shot them.
I mean, okay, that'd be hilarious, but I don't know. I don't know if they need a buff. I don't know. I just don't know what buff, because more damage they don't need. Like for example, for Rangdas, more damage it doesn't need, but you nerf or I guess you buff how much damage you take, so you take less damage, and it's like then the item has no drawback. So I don't know. It's
What
a
if
weird spot.
what if on Boombas, instead of taking more damage, it takes away max health? So you technically technically abilities do more damage, but not as an actual stat. You know what I mean?
That could be a good route. Is like it takes away some prots you have, or takes away some health.
Yeah.
Like on Rangdas.
So
or
so it technically does the abilities do more damage, but in a more of a roundabout way than just a flat stat.
What would it do then?
What do you mean? What would it do?
Wouldn't that just be the same thing? Like,
well, no, but it's different. It's not.
Well, because
colors.
at the same time, like
abilities do the same damage, but you have less health.
I feel like we're at the square one. I feel like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it'd be a lot easier to balance if that was the case, though.
What downside do you propose then? Like,
well, I don't really propose anything. I'm saying I don't know what the heck they need. I'm just saying I don't really think that do anything, because at the end of the day, you're still going to die in the same amount of time.
I don't know. I'd like to answer your question in a very roundabout way, Justin.
Okay, what is it?
It actually isn't even answering your question. I'm going to be honest, but I just kind of want to go off on a little tangent. I want to remove starter items. I don't like them.
You mean starter items as a whole?
Remove every starter item. Every single starter item. I think that they force you to go down a really narrow build path every time, and I think that that's detrimental to every other item in the game.
Wait, what do you mean? How is it force you to go down a build path?
Because if you're say you're Janus and you build Mage's Blessing, which is what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've spent your starting gold on something that you could have bought. So you could have bought something else, right? You could have bought 3 different items with the gold that you bought with Mage's Blessing, but you have to build Mage's Blessing. I just really
don't have to build Mage's Blessing,
but you kind of do.
You can choose to sacrifice that early game pressure in order to get that more powerful item online earlier. It's a strategy we've seen plenty of times in the past, even when.
I still think I think it railroads you into a build path, and I think that's detrimental to the other items in the game.
2 comments real quick on that. For one, it's only 700 gold, so you do still start your build path. Like 700 gold really isn't a lot.
But in the early game, it is. Like you're just starting off. You have to micromanage every purchase you make.
But 2, it makes the early game way less boring. Like especially in Conquest, like if you didn't have like the blessings,
you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, you just can't do anything because nobody has pressure, nobody has damage, nobody has defense.
Well, no, you would. I think you would change the tier 1s of a few items, but no.
Well, it'd have to be all items, then, wouldn't it?
Otherwise, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Why not change the?
Because then we end up getting to a situation where it's like League, where everyone's just buying tier 1 items and not finishing them because they're that efficient.
True.
Yeah, wouldn't those new tier 1 items just become like the de facto starter items again, and you're back in the same place?
But there are more of them, aren't there?
Say like there's like you're playing a mage, you could buy tier 1 Doom Orb or tier 1 book or tier 1
trinket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you'd still have options. So it wouldn't be like it's not like you had to build tier 1 book every time. Supposing we're in a world of perfect balance.
Yeah, and it's like, and even now you see like Trans 2 is a start, or what else? There's the
There's Rush.
Boots 2, Lost Artifact, that start.
Can still go book 2 as well.
Yeah, book 2 is decent.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I wouldn't like it because if they did the thing where they buff the tier 1s, then I mean, again, it's obviously we wouldn't know without numbers. It kind of just sounds like say League and Dota, where you buy a bunch of little items and then like upgrade them after you get all your little items. So not that I've played those games to any extent, but like from what I hear, that's like what it sounds like.
Mhm.
I like the idea of the starting items, and I like because you don't always have to go the same one every game. Like obviously, most of the time on a support, you're gonna go Guardians, Blessing, whatnot. But I think it's like cool, like just to have like more early game presence, and I like the way the tier 1 items are.
I will say I do think it's time for blessings to change. I think they've been around for long enough, and it's starting to get boring.
Yeah, I do
Also,
think it's boring. I liked the old starter items, like when you had like Sands of Time or Vamp Shroud.
Mhm.
yeah, totally off topic about those. They're still in the Smite game list of items, like on the Smite website.
Oh, you can probably find old Gauntlet of Thieves that gave you like percent max health.
Oh, I remember Bluestone.
Oh,
one, but
Death's
I'm just like
Toll?
looking at
Oh,
all
man.
these.
Oh man, remember
Bring back
Death's
Death's Toll, and I'd just be happy.
Dude,
No,
you
bring
remember
back
Fling.
Death's Toll in the game is toxic
Dude,
again.
bring back
know.
bring back
Dwarf
Combat Blink.
No,
Oh,
Bring
I
back
we
love,
Combat.
tried that. Remember in season
Playing
4?
I-
Awful,
I loved Combat Blink.
It was so nice.
dude. It was everybody had it, and literally you couldn't fight because everyone would just blink all over the place. It was awful.
Yeah, but that's where you read him.
Can we get
Yeah, keep-
Swiftwing and Warflag back?
Dude,
You gotta
Swiftwing.
stay on your toes.
I'd
Oh,
rather have
no.
a whole inventory comprised of starters, like a whole like item list, than have a single Shadow Steel Shuriken on my entire.
Yeah, Shadow Steel's really bad.
I would rather have all starter items plus Shadow Steel Shuriken.
Stop.
All right, that sounds OP.
All right,
Yeah.
Danny, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. I'm gonna say Ichable. I know it's getting a buff, but it's not really getting a buff. Let's be real here. But especially since we've seen Hecate, which is obviously a very similar item to Ichable, like kind of take the limelight for the ADC meta. And it's really kind of pushed physical hunters to the wayside. In a lot of cases, like they're still playable, but like it's really hard to justify picking like a traditional hunter over like an Oleron or a Freya. And I'll tell you exactly how you should buff Ichable too. You need to take right now the way it works. I was telling Dan this earlier this week, but right now the way it works is basically you get 30 power, and then for each basic attack you hit, you gain an additional 15 power, so you can have up to 75 power. All they need to do is front load that power, so that instead of 30 plus 15 per stack, they make it 45 power plus 10 per stack, and then you can instantly buy that item again, and we'll see it.
I think neat. I personally will always miss the days of 1700 gold Ichable, because
1700 gold Ichable with 10 flat pen.
You got your Devos, you got your boots, and then boom, you get Ichable, and you're online. You're ready to fight. You feel good. And like I know, like obviously that was the only freaking item you could build. Like you had to build that item unless you went like a completely different build path, which I don't even know if there was back then.
No, the hunters have notoriously had like a single build path at every.
Except for ability based recently with like Trans Crusher.
Yeah, no, nowadays it's different, but
at least Crusher was different back then, so it wasn't worth it. Because that was like the split push item, like you get faster attacks.
Power Shredder item.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll just always miss old Ichable. It does suck that I just never see that item built.
Justin, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think that physical hunters, nor the normal hunter class, should be better than magical ADCs?
No, I don't. But I obviously I think they should be about equal. The thing that, because physical hunters typically have, especially right now, they have more build options. Like you can go Kins or crit. Right now, if you pick a magical hunter, you're basically going Hecate, Boots, Typhus Fang, boom. That's literally all you need. It can go like.
The pool of magical hunters is also a lot smaller.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I'm
think
thinking
there needs to be a trade-off for picking a magical hunter over.
That's
a
what I'm
normal
thinking
hunter.
too.
It should be based around the comp.
Yeah, because like
That's
the
true.
thing with like a magical hunter is, at least in like Conquest, like you pick Freya and you have 0 tower damage. She doesn't do damage to towers. Like Kronos, on the other hand, his actual auto damage goes up when you use your 2. The thing with Freya is you use your 2 and it's a separate damage thing, so like you're just not doing damage to structures. So like that's like a really good trade-off. That's like why you'd pick a hunter over Freya if you need that structure damage because you don't have it elsewhere. But like, yeah, like Oleron, like it's so hard to just not pick Oleron right now. If the items
Yeah.
are really good, he does a lot of damage. He's relatively safe, and his ult is just through the roof. Plus, he still does structure damage because his actual auto damage goes up. So like, it's a tough thing to balance.
Can he crit on structures?
No.
Okay.
They did nerf his crit damage though.
Yeah, I agree that there should be some sort of trade-off for picking a magical ADC rather than just a normal hunter, and I think that the tower, the structure damage from Freya would be a good way of doing it, because you have the great damage on an actual enemy god, but the structure damage, which is also part of the hunter's role, which is to take down structures, is substantially reduced. So I think that's a pretty good trade-off. I personally believe that physical hunters should by default be better than magical ADCs, because when magical ADCs are good, and it might be I'm probably speaking from bias here. You could see in a minute, but when magical ADCs become good, it's usually the mage items that get nerfed, and with the mage items getting nerfed, the rest of the mages that aren't magical ADCs also get nerfed, and so it kind of penalizes the whole magical side of the god pool. And with hunters, it's usually just hunter items. Sometimes it's
like a Titan's Bane or something.
Yeah, like a Titan's Bane or something like that.
I can actually, I wasn't sure where you were going for a little while, but no, I can dig what you're saying. I think the thing is, like, magical hunters, like, you think, maybe not always Kronos, you can kind of build Kronos like a mage, but especially you think Oleron, right? And you only have one tree of magical ADC specific items. And I think that's why, because either they make all of those items good, and then magical ADCs have 0 build path except to go those items,
right,
or they start venturing into other items. And yeah, like I think because they don't have many magical ADCs in the game, right? There's like 4 or 5.
There's 4.
Yeah. And so like
6 including Zeus.
It doesn't really warrant putting another tree of items in, but that also just kind of sucks because then they only have 1 tree of items.
7 including Zhonghui.
Yeah.
Facts.
8 including Vulcan.
All right, now science gone too far.
I think if they add more magical ADCs, then another magical ADC item tree would be justified. But...
I think Apollo should be a magical ADC.
Oh, now that's a
No.
saucy take.
I think Apollo will always have crit in my eyes.
Yeah, but I think Apollo and Churn are just so similar.
Nah.
In terms of what you pick them for.
Nah.
And that's the global.
Nah.
So why do you think he should be magical?
Because it would distinguish him from Chernobog.
No, I think that's.
I also think it would.
I thought you said Kernanos initially. I was like, what? Global Kernanos? Excuse me? Everybody turned into a boar?
They all have different applications.
I just went to the Kernanos page to look and see if his ult became global.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
You have global presence, but you're not Chernobog ulting. You're not Apollo ulting solo at a win, you know? You're not Apollo ulting for safety either. You can
yes, you are.
Safety to get your cooldowns. I mean, yeah, if you're spush rushing a tower and you see someone on a ward at red
or get ganked, like early game, you're using it for safety.
I don't know. Yeah, that's early game. That's like 3 minutes of the game that you can get away with it before you get one shot.
I guess. All right, Danny, what's yours?
I totally forgot what the question was.
The item that needs buffs.
Ooh, I don't think I know enough to actually give a good answer on this.
Okay, fair enough.
Or honestly, anything about items, because I think we just kind of went on a tangent about items.
All right, so we're on the last question, the Dia side. Who right now is the best god in Smite?
I say sign bingo.
Cthulhu, hands down. I mean, okay, so first of all, I can't possibly give that title to a carry god, like a hunter or a mage, because it's never really on them to run a game. They're just role fillers. They just do damage. And like Freya, for example, she can be busted and do a ton of damage, but I think it falls to like any of the other 3 roles to actually get things done, so those gods can do the damage. And I just think Cthulhu does so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely Cthulhu. Just
Of course you think it
dude,
is.
look, his ult just does too much. Like you can get like what 5 knockups off in a single team fight while also having a minimum of 20% damage mitigation, and you can also both heal and buff the damage of your team. It's just ludicrous the amount of stuff he can do for like 12 whole seconds. Like at least I don't know what the cap
It's
is
going
be.
down to 10 as of the next patch, from like 10 to 14, but that's still, I mean, 10
14 seconds is a long time. That is absolutely stupid. And
Oh, yeah.
admittedly, the rest of his kit is kind of underwhelming. Like the more that I've played against it, but that ult is just so good. Like you can't ignore it.
It's a little underwhelming, but it's still a lot of damage and control, man. Like the dash is just a tiny stun, but that's a disruptor, right? That'll stop a Thor hammer. That'll stop like a dash. Like it's not a bad kit otherwise.
The fear on his 1-2 is absolutely stupid, and like you can never see it coming really because you don't know. Unless you have a ton of experience playing against Cthulhu, you're probably not going to be very keen on noticing that. Like, okay, I'm in madness. I can get feared here.
You don't know he's bright purple, and you don't see the tentacles.
Yeah, but it's hard to register that unless you played against it a lot.
That's fair.
That's kind of similar to the Hades fear. You get hit with a basic attack even, and you get hit. You get was it blight, and then you get hit by the 2. It's a silence and a fear.
Remember Hades?
Yeah, the thing is that the rest of his kit's absolute dog.
Yeah, the 2 is the best ability.
Imagine just standing there just to do less damage than a Guan Yu 3. Fucking crazy. I
that
think
3 heals for a lot.
Oh, wait, is 3 his heal? Oh, I think I meant his Talosel.
Oh no,
I'm talking about Hades.
Oh no, I was talking about Guan. Anyway, for me, I think my pick is Oleron, because that high damage, that high ass damage, coupled with the actually fucking insane teamfight ult, just makes him one of, I think, the best gods in the game. I think I
can respect that.
I think if he had just a normal damaging ult like a Freya, or if he had just some weird get out of jail free card like Kronos, he would just be another magical hunter. But I think that team fight ult is just the creme de la creme on Oleron, making him the best god.
I think if I can piggyback off that, I think I 100% agree with you, because like the thing is, like, if you gave like another mage that, it would be pretty shitty, because like they have 3 abilities and then they have a non-damaging ult, but since Oleron has autos, he has a neutral game.
Yeah,
it's exactly why we don't see utility mages pick that often, because you have to sacrifice ability damage, and that's kind of what they do is ability damage.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there were more incentives to have utility mages.
Like it's why Janus is not that good right now. It's why Isis is not that good right now. And it's why we see Hell only in the hands of people that can really play her well.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
How about you, Danny?
Best god in the game. I'm gonna probably have to say Cthulhu or Oleron. I kind of want to actually start playing Oleron.
Stop copying our homework.
Okay, if let's say previously, from when you remember last playing, maybe like season 5-ish, 6-ish?
Season 4, season 3, 4 at least.
What was the best god then?
Oh
I'll
God,
tell you if you were correct.
I remember there was a small amount of time where Ao Kwang was like everywhere and annoying.
That's true. That
Yeah.
has happened multiple times.
Kwang when
remember
he's good.
He's like here for
I
a month
remember-
and then you just get out of here.
I remember busted ass Soul when she first got released.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it when she?
That was the end of season 2. And I guess she was really good at the end of season 3 too. Because she still had Fatalis on her 3.
Cerberus. I remember Cerberus being, pretty good on release.
I don't think he was ever busted.
No, I don't think he was ever busted. Let me keep looking here. I'm looking at the god list. Kumbhakarna is just, an ever-present annoyance no matter what they do to him.
God, dude, Kumbhakarna.
Yeah. He's a tilter.
Yes,
Oh man, is he ever, dude?
he's got 7 forms of CC and 4 abilities. Like,
Yeah.
He has more CC than he has fat rolls, and that's saying something.
I don't think he has fat rolls.
Yeah, he does.
He
Look
just
at
has
them titties, dude.
one. That's not a fat roll.
Yeah, it is. Come on, titties are fat rolls.
You're a titty fat roll.
And dude, don't talk to me that way. Is that also the
Terra.
pentakill? Oh,
I remember Terra.
Tara was terrible on release.
huh,
No, well, not on release, but I remember, after she got better.
Okay, fair.
after she got OP.
She was pretty good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's about
Okay.
it.
So that's gonna be it for the 5 questions. Now, Danny.
Justin, you didn't answer.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
I did. I agreed with you. I said Cthulhu. So Danny, since you're the guest, we're gonna put you in the hot seat here.
Oh,
Basically,
you didn't tell me this.
you're right. I didn't. I'm gonna ask you. I think I have 12 or 13 questions here. They're really quick. Just one word.
my
Just
God.
whatever comes to mind. Just like real quick. You don't have to explain why you said the answer, but we're just gonna hammer through it. All right, you ready?
Question you got wrong, but kill a fish.
There's no correct. There's no right or wrong answer.
Don't
It's
hold
just
that over my
whatever-
head. All right.
Whatever you feel in your heart.
Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
All right. Favorite item in the game.
Ratatouille.
All right. Most infuriating god to play against.
Kumbhakarna.
A character who, if a person mains them, you think less of them.
Loki. That's an
Best
easy one.
gamer tag in our friend group.
Oh, in our friend group. Mine.
The rest of these are going to be a friend group as well.
Fucking days like mine.
TroutDonkey, really?
Now that's objectively wrong.
All right. Worst builds in our group.
Worst builds. Probably my all hammer build on
Okay.
Chalk and Arena.
I can see it.
Worst mechanics.
Worst mechanics. Oh God. I'm probably just gonna say I've never played before. Set.
No, like who has the worst mechanics?
Oh, who has the worst mechanics? Oh, Ben.
Yeah, he's correct.
The easiest kill 1v1.
Also Ben.
Hardest kill 1v1.
Dan.
Most beta player.
Also Dan.
Blow the fuck out.
Worst player god combo.
Thanatos. Easy. Dan on Thanatos.
You stole my Penta and you give me that disrespect?
Dude, hit a single death sight.
Dude,
Best
I
player-
was, and then he stole it.
All right, best player god combo.
Me on Hades.
Get fucked.
Smartest player in the group.
Me on Ra.
Absolutely.
I don't care. His intelligence is increased.
All right, that's
Like
all of
the
them. Anybody have anything else to
Justin,
bring
how
up?
do you answer those questions?
How do I answer that? I'm not on the hot seat, bro.
Yeah, now you are.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can put
I mean for about, all of those.
I mean,
Ben.
good.
Let me put it this way: you don't want me to answer those questions.
No, I know.
Smartest player in the group.
Me.
This is
Yeah,
like
that's
best
how you know
mechanics.
it's
Me,
invalidated,
worst
bro.
mechanics. Everyone else.
Most
Worst
beta.
mechanics is
Does Billy count?
No.
Does Alex count?
Yes.
Alex isn't bad though.
Alex is not bad.
Yeah.
I think it's Gabe, honestly.
Yeah,
Gabe. Oh,
I think it's Gabe because he'll just like Jing Wei dash into a wave and then get like gone on by like 8 people, and I'm like, why did you Jing Wei dash into a wave?
because he please.
I think Ben is self-aware, so he can't be like any.
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
I know I'm terrible.
I mean,
No,
my
you're-
worst
no,
player god combo is Ben on Janice.
You're self-aware.
What?
that-
No. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, there, Chief. I know where you live.
Okay, who's your best player god combo?
Me on Cupid.
Yeah, get fucked.
Dude, I mean, come on.
Or
Dude,
Dan.
yeah.
This is
Or it's
bait.
either that or you on Achilles.
This is a lukewarm
Spain.
seat right here. You're not
Yeah.
the hot seat.
I don't know. I might give it to Alex on Ammo. We just never lose with him on that
That's
pick.
true.
I don't really play Achilles with you guys. I play it in ranked.
I think Dan on Bologna is the best.
Maybe
that's a
like in season
throwback.
3.
Yeah, but I still think you got it in you. I think if it's like that, it's like one of those movies where the old assassin does one more job.
Like Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Any Steven
No, but-
Seagal film.
No, but in that combination, it's the Bologna character doing 90% of the work, and then it's Dan with the other 10% because
yeah.
she
Dan
was
does. Yeah.
busted.
Yeah, like Bologna's not that good right now, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
No, I think you'd still be able to clap.
Yeah, player. I don't think I could clap though. You know.
I think you
Other warriors just do too much.
Yeah, but it's Dan we're talking about. He's the best player in the group.
Disagree.
Okay,
He's-
buddy.
he's
It's
a-
definitely not Justin, I can tell you that. Best
I-
mechanics, my ass.
In Cupid, I mean,
Yeah,
come
well,
on.
dude,
Dan
you
plays
can't even-
warriors. Warriors don't
even hit-
require mechanics.
You can't even hit
You
cards.
play. All right, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
aim.
not going into this. You have to
All right.
aim. What do I have to do? Pound salt?
Yeah, that's pretty much what you do. You just take your giant cone, you slam it into the ground.
My
Take
man
the
out here
giant
left
cone and
clicking.
slam it into you if you don't stop.
All right. Anybody have anything else they want to bring up real quick, or because it's already
Justin,
10 o'clock?
You're adopted.
All right. Multiple choices.
No, I'm gonna
Thank you for
cancel
that.
you, Justin.
Bring
Oh,
back
no.
double stacking.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
GG
Bye.
easy.
Bye.
See ya.